Menstrual cycles can be affected by a variety of factors, some of which are very interesting, others are very common. Now we are going to look at the most common ones, and I'm going to start off with the weight. Now, in case you lose weight, or maybe you gain weight, this is going to affect your menstrual cycles because it affects your hormones. Now, remember, something like estrogen is dependent on body fat for generation. So if you don't have body fat, it means that you're not going to produce as much of that estrogen. And this usually comes as a result of losing weight. If you lose so much weight, you don't have enough fat, and this fat will be involved in production of estrogen. Now, this estrogen will control your menses, and you know that. Now, in case you gain weight so much, it means that you're going to have so much of that fat, you're going to overproduce your estrogen, get what you call estrogen dominance, and this will lead to you getting the effects of estrogen dominance, like one of which is disruption of your menses. Sometimes you get very heavy of them, very heavy menses. Sometimes they just keep. Sometimes you might get several menses within the same period of time. Now, disruption of your hormones or maybe hormonal imbalances can lead to disruption of your menstrual cycle, because we have two very major hormones. We have estrogen and progesterone. They're very important when it comes to regulating your menstrual flow. And you can observe this in puberty, you have pregnancy, when you're breastfeeding, and also when you're in menopause. This is when you're done with reproduction. Now, these are stages where you're going to have a significant hormonal change. Number 3, stress. High levels of stress can disrupt balances of the hormones and also neurotransmitters. And this can affect what we call hypothalamus pituitary adrenal, HPA axis. Now, this disruption can lead to changes in menstrual cycle and also potentially causing irregular periods and even disappearing of the menses forever. I have seen people with even 2 years without seeing their menses. Now, number 4 is nutrition. Now, this is very important. Now, we have deficiencies, like for example, when it comes to iron and also vitamin B12 and folate, and they are going to affect the menstrual cycle because a lack of these nutrients can disrupt the hormonal balances and the overall reproductive health. Environmental factors. We have exposure to certain environmental factors such as endocrine disrupting chemicals found in plastics and also pesticides. And even you have pollutants that will contain this chemical. Now, it can interfere with hormonal regulations and also disrupt the menstrual cycle. And you can even observe this in people who are working in flower farms and also even those who are working in agrochemical farms. They can tell you. Now, certain medications can disrupt this, and we definitely know. We have e-pills, we have birth control pills. They are hormonal, so they are going to disrupt your hormones, and when that happens, they are definitely going to disrupt your menstrual flow. And this is why sometimes when you take those like Postina 2, this is P2, if you take that, it might defer your menses, or maybe when you're getting your menses, they are heavier or even lighter, and it can even disappear. Now, another one very interesting is travel and jet lag. Now, you see, there's something that we call circadian rhythm. Now, this circadian rhythm controls the clock of the body, and it's very important. This clock is very important because it leads to the timing of all the activities in the body, and it can lead to you having some of this, because some of the hormones are usually produced around this clock, now circadian rhythm. Now, in case you disrupt this, like for example, the production of melatonin, which helps in sleeping, it's a clock. It gives your body a clock. You need to sleep at this time, you need to wake up at this time. So if you disrupt this, you're going to also disrupt how you produce your hormones. And the hormones, again, are going to affect your menses. We have other underlying medical conditions like PCOS. This is a very common one. And we have thyroid disorders and also irregularities due to their impact on the hormone production and regulation. In case you have an issue there, you have an underlying condition which is affecting your hormone, be rest assured that you're going to have disruption when it comes to your menses. Intense trainings and physical activities, it will lead you to losing a lot of fat from your body. And like we saw earlier, you're going to produce less of that estrogen, and it will disrupt your periods. Now, number 10, the final one, this is the sleeping pattern. If you disrupt your sleeping pattern, you are going to also impact your hormone regulation, like we saw the circadian rhythm. Now, when this happens, you're also going to impact the production of your hormones, and you're going to affect, as usual, your menses. So the hormonal balance will be affected. See you in the next one.